The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
The Badger Hockey Digest, presented by Charter Communications.
Hi, welcome to the Badger Hockey Digest, brought to you by Charter. I'm Brian Posick, radio voice of the Badgers, along with head coach Mike Eaves. Quite a weekend at the Kohl Center. Thursday and Friday last week, the Badgers swept top-ranked Minnesota, identical 2-1 scores, and two very different games, weren't they?
They were. Thursday night, almost said Friday night, but Thursday night, we didn't play our A game. Minnesota did a lot of things well that we didn't. For instance, win races, win battles. They seemed to have the puck more than we did. But to use an old coaching cliche, good teams find a way to win. With solid goaltending, we were able to scratch 2 goals and find a way to win that game. And then on Saturday night, it was the same score, but we played much better, deserved that game more so than Thursday night. We won more races, won more battles, and got a big goal from Nick Cardillis just in the beginning part of the third period, and played very well after that. Really didn't give Minnesota a lot of looks after that point.
Yeah, in the opener, Jake McCabe scored the game winner with about 6 minutes to play, and Joel Rumpel made 31 saves. Then in the finale, Cardillis, you mentioned, scored the game winner in the third period, but also a diving pass to Grant Bessie that set up the first goal of the game. That was quite a play.
Oh, and talking about Nick Cardillis, you forget what you have in the lineup when you have Nick. He's so dynamic. Some people would refer to him as a thoroughbred. He plays at a high level, high pace, and his athleticism helped him on that goal. He just dove, poked the puck, got it to Grant. Grant did the rest. So having him in our lineup was a big boost for us.
Yep, and you also overcame the loss of Jake McCabe, who was kicked out of the game in the second period with a high hit to the head of Kyle Rao, and your defenseman really dug in. The rest of the team did too, didn't they?
It's interesting when one soldier goes down, another one has to pick up his rifle, so to speak, and carry on. And we saw some tremendous growth from our young defensemen. I think that Kevin Schulze probably played his best weekend. And in that, after Jake got kicked out, Eddie Whitcow and Chase Drake really stepped up their game and played at another level. And they both commented on that after the game to us. So, you know, there can be and there needs to be that kind of growth from other people when one of your main guys goes down.
Yeah, and kudos to Frankie Simonelli and Joe Faust, 2 senior defensemen who did a nice job as well. You mentioned Joel Rumpel. He was named the first star of the week in the Big Ten. He stopped 59 of 61 shots against the Golden Gophers. I'm not very good at math, but that's a pretty good save percentage.
It is, and you know that if you're going to win in this game, that's your backbone. And our guys realize how well Joel's playing, and it gives them confidence to play in front of them, up front of him. If he makes a mistake, or if they make a mistake, they feel like 9 times out of 10 that he's going to cover up for them. So he's in a good place right now. He has lots of confidence. He's playing well at his position, taking care of the details. And as a result, we're seeing a high-level play from young Joel.
Yeah, he's really matured, too. He loves it at the University of Wisconsin, plans to be here all 4 years, which I'm sure makes you very happy to hear. But he has grown both on the ice and off, I think.
No question about that. I think Joel comes in with, A, he's very athletic, B, he's big. But there was a level of competitiveness that needed to go to another level. There was a level of details in how to play. The position of goaltender that had to go to another level. And over the course of the last 2 years, working with Jeff Sanger, being pushed day to day by Petey, because they compete every day in practice, it's helped him grow as a young goaltender. And as a result, we're seeing a high-level play from him.
Yep. With that sweep of top-ranked Minnesota, the Badgers moved up 4 spots to 8th in the U.S. College Hockey Online poll. Now they head to Columbus to take on Ohio State. More on that series coming up. Plus, we'll talk a little bit about the Olympics as well when we come back.
I'm not what the girls here would call classically good-looking. I spent most of my youth in the dreaded friend zone. That all changed when my folks got Charter TV. I discovered tons of chick flicks in HD and on demand, and learned all the secrets to romancing the high school girl. Now in a school full of boys, I'm the man. I'm the man.
Get Charter TV starting at $29.99 per month. Charter, make way for more.
This is Andrew Seelsdorf. He plays hockey. This is leukemia.
it's bad business. This is Andrew's oncology team. They love Andrew. They don't like leukemia. And thanks to them, Andrew is now cancer-free. Booyah. They are the world-renowned physicians, scientists, and nurses at the American Family Children's Hospital, pioneers in pediatric cancer care. UW Health. Remarkable.
Well, the Winter Olympics well underway in Sochi, and the men's Olympic hockey tournament begins on Thursday. 4 former Badgers will skate for the United States: Ryan Suter, Joe Pavelski, Derek Stepan, Ryan McDonough. By my count, that's 23 former Badgers who will play in the Olympics. And when you see 4 Badgers, skating around the ice in Sochi, I think that's pretty good PR for the University of Wisconsin.
It is. It always is. But even more so than that, it makes the Olympics come alive because we know these young men. When you have that emotional attachment, you want to watch every game. You want to see how they do. So having the relationship we have with these young men makes us watch at a higher level.
What do you think of U.S.'s chances of winning gold?
Well, I think it depends on Ryan Miller, the goaltending. I think we just talked about Joel Rumpel in our last section, and I think that if he can play well and give them confidence, they could grow into a pretty good team. It's a short-term tournament, and you've got to see if your guys can come together in a quick amount of time and play at a high level. Their success will be based on how he plays.
Yeah. 34 years since the Miracle on Ice. Where were you?
I remember specifically, my wife had just picked me up from the Minneapolis airport. We were playing for the Minnesota North Stars. We were on a road trip. We went, I think it was called Cannon Kugel Pancakes or something on 35W.
All right.
And we walked into the restaurant, and at the time the U.S. Was losing. We come back out to listen to the last 10 minutes. We sat in our car and listened to it, and I was dumbfounded. Because, the Russians were by far and away the best team in the world. And this was a bunch of amateurs beating pros. It was unheard of. Look what we've got here. We honor that event. It changed the course of USA hockey. So I think for most Americans, they would remember where they were if they had any tie to hockey.
And you had 2 close friends on that team, too, which made it extra special.
Yeah, it did. Having Mark and Bobby there and, winning a national championship with them and knowing what they were going through and hearing some of the stories of Herb Brooks and what they endured to get there was truly fascinating, and it was a marquee event in USA hockey.
Yep, looking forward to the games for sure. Looking forward to this weekend in Columbus against Ohio State. Badgers and Buckeyes split their series at the Kohl Center. Wisconsin won the opener 5-3, played very well in the finale, and lost 3-1. That's the way this game of hockey goes, right?
It is. We played, after our last game, our Thursday game against Minnesota, we said, well, we've played better and lost. And that Ohio State game, which we lost 3-1, we ran into a hot goaltender, almost outshot them 2-1 and couldn't figure him out. We're going in there. Ohio State's a good team. I don't think that people equate hockey with Ohio State quite yet. Mm-hmm. But they can get up and down the ice. They have dynamic forwards, and it's going to be we're going to have to go in there and play well to get some points out of there. And looking for the challenge. You can see how the race is developing now. There's lots to play for right now. It's a fun time of year.
Yeah, Wisconsin currently in 2nd place in the Big Ten. That's what made that series against Minnesota even more important, because you have a chance at reaching one of your goals, a conference title.
Yeah, you got to get points. And if we hadn't got as many points as we had there, realistically, the chance of achieving a high point in the Big Ten might not have been able, but we're still in the hunt right now. We have to continue to do our part, and that's play well and get points.
Yeah, and we saw Nick Kurdelis return after missing 6 games with an injury. I know the Badgers hoping to get Tyler Barnes back too as we speak. It's Tuesday morning here in Madison, but he's making progress, Tyler isn't he?
He is. He's on the ice even this morning, just getting a little extra in. I think that we're going to have to make a decision over the next couple of days to see if Tyler can get in, but he'd be another boost in the arm because he's a top 6 forward for us.
All right, the Badgers and the Ohio State Buckeyes, 6 o'clock face-off on Friday night. There's no television, so you'll have to listen to the Badger Sports Network or BadgerSportsNetwork.com. There is TV Saturday night. That game starts at 7 o'clock on the NBC Sports Network. Also like to thank all the Badger fans that showed up Friday night for the Minnesota game to support Buckets for Hunger. Over $10,000 was raised to help the hungry in Wisconsin. Thanks to Wayne Bisick, Blake Jeffrion, and to all the fans out there for taking part. Mike, best of luck in Columbus.
Thanks, Brian.
That's Badgers head coach Mike Eaves. I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest, brought to you by Charter.